Hey guys, how you doing? Another video for you. This one I want to talk about mirroring your gear. The idea being that most of the stuff that we're going to use is going to be used under stress. If it's being used under stress, you don't want to have to be thinking about what you're grabbing. You want to just be grabbing it. This is why dry practice is so important. You want to know where everything is. You want to know where your mags are. You want to know where your gun is at. You want to know that you can clear your garment to get to your gun. Same with your mags. Same with your medical gear. You want to know where it is, how it's packed, how it's laid out. That way, when you need to use it, when you're under stress and your adrenaline's pumping and your heart's pounding, you know what to do without having to think about it. So just a couple examples for you about mirroring your gear, how you can do it, and something for you to think about coming right up. Okay guys, so here's a few examples that I have kind of laid out on this table. So let's start with your EDC. So I wear the same shorts whether I'm at work or whether I'm not at work. Generally I'll take off my work shorts and put on a second pair, but everything's in the same place. The gun is in the same location on each pair of pants, and these are set up at my bedside. Another thing about setting up your pants at your bedside, if something were to happen in the middle of the night, having this set up this way, like this sits just like this on the corner of my bed when I go to sleep. If I had to, I can pull these on, put them on in a matter of seconds, and I have my gun, I have 2 mags, there's also medical in my pockets. So I have my EDC at the ready in the worst moment you can imagine, okay? But I have them in the same place. I have a multi-tool pouch. I have a multi-tool pouch. I have magazines. I have a pokey thing to get somebody off of me. I have a pokey thing to get somebody off of me. A lot of things get transferred from these pants to these pants. Like, for instance, the flashlights would be transferred over. The medical that's in the pockets would be transferred over. So that's what I have mirrored with my EDC items. And that's just one example, okay? So let's get rid of these and get example number 2. Medical bags. This is the medical bag that lives in my wife's car. This is the medical bag that lives in my car. So I have RATS tourniquets set up exactly the same way. I have Recon set up exactly the same way. In the back here we have some flat items and just first aid stuff, and we have boo-boo stuff and band-aids. Same thing here. I have flat stuff, boo-boo items, and band-aids. And inside each bag is also mirrored pretty close, so that everything's kind of in the same spot. So the same basic idea. If I'm having to treat somebody at a car wreck or a shooting, God forbid, I know where everything is, whether it's in my wife's car or whether it's in my car. So that's an example with these. Another example, these are the 2 packs that I have that basically are set up to go with either my plate carrier or my chest rig if I had to walk it home, right? So I have medical, I have water. It's mirrored, it's the same thing. And by the way, I also find if I like a product, I want more of it. And that's an example here. I love these Mil-Spec Monkey packs, they're awesome. So another example of mirroring your gear, because if I'm having to hoof it home and I need to grab my medical off of my bag, which this is an SOE small tear off. This is one too, it's just unloaded. I don't want to have to be wondering where I'm grabbing what. And that's the idea of this, is that when you need this stuff, it's not going to be a good time. It's going to be a pretty horrible time if you need this stuff. It's going to be a time when you're under stress, or you're cold, or you're hungry, or you're worrying about your family or your kids or yourself. This is not the time to be thinking about this stuff. This is not the time to be wondering. You want to be able to act and know what you're grabbing and know where you're going and know what you're doing. Same goes for using all this stuff. Like, you need to have used it. I'm not saying you need to roll up on a wreck, but you should be training with these things. You should be walking around hiking with this stuff. You should be training with these items that are in here and load it the way you want to load it. Maybe you see some loadout online and it looks brilliant. Well, that's great. It doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So do the work yourself. Do the research yourself. Don't take what I'm doing and say, oh, that's the way to do it. No. I'm a Sasquatch in a backyard with a GoPro. I am climbing on the shoulders of guys that have been doing this for all their life. I am taking suggestions and ideas from instructors that have been there and done that. So that if I have to be there and have to do it, I've been trained, and hopefully I'm up to the task. But I sure as hell am not going to have to wonder where my tourniquets are. So that's it, guys. It's just a mindset thing. It's a mindset thing. And a tactics thing. Which trumps the gear shit every day of the week. That's it, guys. So hopefully you learned something from this. Hopefully it gives you some ideas. Hopefully it gets that brain working, which is the important part. And your path is out there, guys. Go find it.